What's up, y'all? It's your boy Darius The Great, back with another Darius The Great deep dive. Also, man, coming up, I have a podcast, a new venture called Darius The Great Presents The Dichotomy, and it's coming real soon, man. Just listen to the title, Darius The Great Presents The Dichotomy. So if you know what dichotomy means, then you know what that's about. Also, I want to thank everyone for supporting me. You can follow me on Instagram at Darius The Great. That's DVURIUS. And also a new venture that I have, a creative venture on Facebook and Instagram. It's called the Trap Left Scars, aka Post-Traumatic Hustle Syndrome. And on this, I tell a story through images, through music, and through subtitles about the street life and how the trap left scars on me, not only mentally and emotionally, but it also gave me a lot of wisdom, a lot of things to talk about and give to you. But today on Today's The Great Deep Dive, we want to talk about something that I see on the internet a lot, and it's ran rampant through the years, and it's called false prophets of the internet, how grifters prey on the broken and misguided. You know, in today's society and social media age, we got a new breed of false prophets. Slick talkers with mics and followers selling hope, validation, and outrage to people who feel lost, hurt, or misguided, or misunderstood. From the red pill rage to the fake conscious kings, these personalities ain't trying to heal nobody. They're trying to monetize your confusion. Whether you're an emotionally broken man, a love-starved woman, or just someone frustrated with society, they know how to speak just enough truth to keep you hooked while feeding your poison wrapped in charisma. Let's break down who they are, who they target, and how it's all well packaged for their hustle. Each of these internet figures, whether they're posing as relationship gurus, political analysts, or woke revolutionaries, use emotional manipulation and identity politics to attract followers. They speak directly to the hurt, the lonely, the angry, and the confused, offering simple answers to complex problems, but it's not about truth or transformation. It's really about clicks, cash, and control. They exploit pain for profit and package propaganda as personal growth. The false prophets in their game. Let's talk with one. And no disrespect, it's just analytical. I don't have a bone to pick in this fight. I'm not trying to tear these people down because I'm fair and objective. But I have to see and call a spade when I see it. So, one, Fresh and Fit, Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks. Their audience usually is socially awkward, sexually frustrated men, red pill, or men going their own way audience. Their tactics is ego-stroking, women-bashing, alpha myth, rival conflict with women. What's fake about it is transactional dating advice, fake flexing, and paid courses with really no substance. The real agenda to me is to monetize male insecurity and create a constant us versus them loop. Now, again, I'm not trying to say you can't hold women accountable. I'm not trying to say that women aren't flawed in certain aspects of life and how they carry themselves and things of that nature. But if the narrative is always just this toxic, immature, bashing, vitriol, misogynistic tone, is it really helping? You know, it feels like it feels like you just regurgitating and you're throwing up on these women and you talking to men who feel like this. And when it comes to women and dating, you know, of course we all get hurt. Men hurt people, women hurt men, and vice versa. That's a part of the process of growth and learning from your mistakes and learning. And sometimes, you know, people have to learn the hard way. But to try to just solely vilify women as something, you know, and like I said, I done had my fair share of heartbreaks. I done hurt people and I've broken women heart too. But to just solely frame it as like the woman is the villain and these guys are helpless and things of that nature, to me, it's not really helping. You know what I mean? And again, it's business. It's about monetization. It's about entertainment. And they getting it because they got an audience. They got a demographic. Look, hey, listen, man, I understand it's business. It's not personal. But for me, somebody who's insightful and see things for what they are, I got to call a spade a spade. And like I said, there's no knock on them. They got a demographic. They got a lane. They monetizing. More power to them. But I try to stay in the truth. The next person is Derrick Jaxn. His audience is emotionally hurt black women seeking hope and healing. His tactics is preach fairy tale relationship advice, self-righteous image, book sales, and things of that nature. What's fake about it, he preached loyalty while cheating on his wife and sold an image that was not reality. The real agenda to profit or pain with performative empathy. And look, when Derrick Jaxn was hot, I kept trying to tell people, yo, this nigga is crazy. Like, most people who present themselves in this manner as this altruistic, constantly criticizing one thing or people and try to frame once again, blaming everything on the men, like the savior complex, the woman. He's playing on your insecurities. He's playing on your hurt. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when people hurt, they don't really want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear objectivity. They want to hear something that makes them feel better to take the pain away. So they're going to, listen to a girl, that nigga ain't shit, and fuck him, he could do better. And, y'all hurting these women out here and y'all things of that nature. And I've always say a person who always presents themselves as just this whole perfect person usually has some skeletons in their closet, because we all got flaws, we all got skeletons. And it came out that he was cheating on his wife. I don't know if he still get the support. Some people say they still support him and everything. And once again, let's take it back. This is not personal. This is not a personal attack. It's just facts that was revealed. And again, you have to be the controller and the master of your own domain. You have to. Nobody's coming to save you. So these people out here are just people who trying to get a buck. And me being a hustler and hustle and sold drugs, I understand where there's a market, there's a dollar. All right, next, Tariq Nasheed, another person. His audience is black men disconnected from identity or fed up with racism. His tactics are conspiracies, racial division, anti-immigration, LGBTQ rhetoric, and what's fake about it is actually no solution. It's just fear, division, and merchandise. His real agenda is sell outrage, fund his media empire, and grow court-like loyalty. So I heard about Tariq Nasheed. I remember we had the book about pimping years ago, but I didn't know it was him. And then he has the Hidden Colors documentaries that was really popular in the 2010s and things of that nature. I remember people kept telling about this and Hidden Colors is dope and he's breaking down things of that nature. And I'm not even mad at educating and things of that nature. But a lot of times when it comes to things like Hidden Colors or these things, it's like, okay, you saying we were kings, we were the first people, these people, this and that. Okay, that is fine. It might be some facts to those things. But what about what's happening in the right now? What about what we building now? Let's not talk about what we had, what we built, and what they destroyed. What are we doing in the present? And like I said, it's no solutions. And Tariq Nasheed actually blocked me on Twitter because I asked him a question. I didn't attack him. I literally asked him a question. And now his tactic is the FBA, which is the Foundational Black Americans versus Africans, Latinos, everything, where he's saying Foundational Black Americans, the ones who created everything, that we start all the trends, and, we don't get respected by foreign black people, Africans, Jamaicans, Caribbean, and, it's like this us versus them type of rhetoric, right? And again, I can admit that, yes, black Americans, we do create the swag. We do have the sauce. We have everything of that nature. But you know what we lack? Capitalization. We don't capitalize off these things, and we don't monetize it in the business aspect. It's not about who creates things. It's about who monetize things and who makes things popular and who controls the narrative. Like, for example, Steve Jobs did not create the cell phone, right? But he revolutionized it and he monetized it. So we have to learn from that, and we have to do our due diligence and embracing capitalism to get what we deserve, because anybody could take anything from you. So the FBA versus the Caribbeans and Nigerians and African rhetoric is so, it's counterproductive. And I'm going to be admit, I had a bad experience with a Nigerian person, man. And don't get it wrong. Shout out to my Nigerians, people from Ghana. Everybody knows I love Africans. I love African women. But this dude was so arrogant. This Nigerian dude, I was at CVS. He was so arrogant and just such an asshole to me, right? And I knew what he thought that I was a Akata, meaning a nigga. That's what Africans call black Americans, Akatas. And his demeanor, because he made an error, he made a flaw in something, and I was correcting him, but not in the sense of correcting him to belittle him, but to help him be like, no, this is wrong, bro. Things of that nature. And he kept trying to go back and forth with me, real arrogant, real just an asshole. And I kept saying, listen, bro, you want to argue? I don't want to argue. I just want to do what's right. I just want to fix the problem. And it does, and it's this tension between us African Americans and Black Americans, between us Africans and African Americans, that I really think is really petty and really silly at the end of the day. We all need each other. We all should work with each other. And if we don't want to work with each other, we should just respect each other. Next, Umar Johnson, who actually I personally like, man. I actually have a affinity for Umar because he's hilarious to me. I think he's in the wrong. I feel like if he can monetize his humor and his comedic nature, he can get all the money for the schools. His financial roles wouldn't be it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he realized how funny he is, because a lot of rhetoric he says I agree with, but then a lot of it is like, yo, it's kind of like circular conversation. His audience is Black parents, Pan-Africanists, and the conscious community. His taxes is emotional speeches, promises of a school, and Pan-African rhetoric. What's fake about it is still no school after years of donations and questionable credentials. Now, you seen lately he was on social media begging. He was asking people for help and saying his accounts got locked. And look, man, most of the time if you have fraud in your bank, you can just call your bank and say, hey, there was some fraudulent stuff going on. They will reverse it. You know, they'll shut it down. They won't shut down your account. So I don't know what's that about. I don't know what's going on. But his real agenda is to use hope and race pride to raise money with no results. And like I said, I think I seen an interview on Vlad and what's the name, Lord Jamal. I feel like if Umar just came out and say, look, man, I mismanaged the funds. I'm sorry. My intentions was good, but, you know, life got in the way. Next thing and the third. I think he will be okay. But I think because his pride and his ego, it won't allow him to do it. And so people, you know, accuse him of drug use and, you know, he has a narcissistic personality. But honestly, I think Umar had good intentions initially. I think he's not a bad dude. I just think, you know, celebrity is addictive and it got out of hand. And, you know, here we are where we are with him. So the next person is Ben Shapiro. His audience is conservative youth and frustrated anti-woke thinkers. His tactics is fast talking, strongman arguments, and intellectual superiority complex. What's fake is the oversimplifies complex issues, never engages deeply. His real agenda is to sell books, merch, revenue, and culture war with fear. One of the key components I see, and I see this a lot on social media, is intellectual superiority complex. Yo, this shit is running rampant on social media, dog. Like, it is crazy how the intellectual superiority complex, like, it's people who try to flex how smart they are, try to belittle you, or try to make you feel small because they think they know more than you. So they probably was unseen in life. They probably didn't have good looks. Girls didn't like them. You know, they didn't have money. They wasn't popular or anything. And they used this superiority complex of being an intellectual to make them feel empowered. I had somebody actually tell me on social media that they were more diverse than me in their palette when it comes to certain tastes, and music was more diverse than mine. I'm like, how could you determine that? Like, you assuming? Like, I'm like, bro, I am a creator. I'm a musician. I played in many bands. I listened to so many aspects of music. My father was into music, my family, and it's like, yo, how could you determine that? And my assumption is he determines that because he has a certain image and he follows a certain template. And what I mean by that is he has kind of like the woke image. He listens to certain type of artists. Like, you think about a nigga with a kufi and a chew stick. So if a dude has a kufi and a chew stick and he presents this woke, Afrocentric, or I guess, you know, forward-thinking image, the guy like me who likes to wear kif, shout out to Roddy Fed Kif, who into fly things, it could be even Eurocentric to a degree, you know, designer labels. And I'm not talking about Gucci or Versace, which I do like to a degree, but like, you know, the kif, you know, I do like some mainstream things like music. I like mainstream, sometimes fashion and things of that nature. It's a mixture, it's a balance. But because you present that, he thinks that maybe he knows more than you. It's almost like the argument with Black Thought and Jay-Z where Will.i.am, which was a pretentious argument to me, that said, yo, Black Thought is 3 trillion times better than Jay-Z. And it's like based off what? You know, because Black Thought is a great rapper. He's a great MC. And everybody, they try to reference that freestyle on Funk Flex where Black Thought was going in. And he was rapping at God level. But think about it, he was just rapping. Okay, when it comes to conceptual records, when it comes to girl records, when it comes to club bangers, and when it comes to introspective records, Jay-Z got more than Black Thought. Does Black Thought have an H to the Izzo? Does Black Thought have sisters and bitches? Does Black Thought have an excuse me miss? Does Black Thought have a rap game, crack game? Does Black Thought have where I'm from or can I live? You know what I'm saying? And his solo catalog. And all these are complex records. But like Jay-Z said, do you listen to music or do you skim through it? Because on the surface, it looks flashy, it looks commercial. They're not looking at the core of it. And that's what a lot of intellectual superiority complex people do. You know what I mean? So the next person is Charlie Kirk. His audience is young conservatives, Christians, and college students. His tactics to me is patriotism mixed with fear-mongering, Turning Point USA rallies. What's fake is no nuance. It's just weapon politics for entertainment. His real agenda is radicalize youth, sell tribalism, and fundraisers like a machine. And with Charlie Kirk, I think the biggest thing with me is he tries to frame himself like he's fair and objective, but really he's not. And when I say that, because when he does the thing, when he interacts with the people who oppose to him, if they liberals or they gays and things of that nature, I feel like a lot of times those people who he pick and choose are people who kind of not intellectually on his level. So it's easier to kind of like smack him around intellectually and things of that nature. I feel like if somebody like me was up there, I would give him a better challenge and contrast and push back. But who's to say he might not even put it out, because it's all about controlling the narrative. And I don't disagree with a lot of things Charlie Kirk say. It's not personal. None of this is not personal with me, rather, you know what I'm saying? It's not to tear people down, but it's just to show my perspective and what a lot of people say and see. I could take my emotions out of this and give a fair, logical observation of these things, right? But when I see Charlie Kirk in his interaction, I'm like, he be picking on, and to be fair, a lot of those people that's liberal to come up there, a lot of them do be dense. Their arguments are coming from a place of emotion and not logic, and they just be saying anything, and it's just like those are the worst people to represent up there to debate with an intellectual, because Charlie Kirk is not a dumb guy. He's an intellectual person. So yeah. With that being said, the common threads, it seems that they target people who are emotionally or socially vulnerable. They use shame, fear, ego, race, or love as emotional leverage. Their platforms are rooted in performance, not transformation. Their main goal is to keep you dependent, angry, or hopeful for a price. And that's what it is, man. It's like drugs, man. You sell into a demographic, they consume it, and they become addicted to it. So at the end of the day, most of these voices aren't here to save you. They're here to sell to you. Real growth requires accountability, nuance, and uncomfortable truth, not viral clips and cash app links. Don't let these internet ideologies become your identity. You got to heal for real. You got to think for yourself. And watch who you follow, because some of these leaders are just loud just with a platform. I know what it takes. Man, you have to burn your old self. You have to bury and kill a lot of aspects of your old self and your mentality to get to the next level in life if you really want to heal. It's a lot of things that I had to let go, a lot of beliefs. And this is the crazy thing about it, right? I was always teetering into getting to that next level in life, right? I was always teetering with it. But it was some things that I just didn't let go. You know what I'm saying? Some things, I might be doing this, but I'll still hold on to this. Like, for example, my fitness journey. I'll be working out, but I still sneak and eat some Snickers and drink a bunch of juice and things of that nature. So it's like I'm doing enough, but I'm still not doing everything. I'm not exhausting all my resources. I'm not, going the hardest. I'm not being very disciplined. I'm teetering. That's like almost like you dating a girl that is not good for you, right, fellas? And this girl ain't good, then you might not be in a committed relationship with her, but you sneak in to have sex with her every once in a while. You hitting it every once in a while. And that's not doing nothing for you, because it's getting you back into the old habits. You have to kill that old person, because nobody is coming to save you. Only you is coming to save you. Your habits, your discipline, and everything. And y'all see me growing in real time, man. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Y'all see the pain. Y'all see the injuries. You see me going to the gym, the interviews. Everything I'm doing is in real time. So you see the failures. You see the highlights, the accolades. You see the setbacks. I'm not just framing it. like I'm this dope person and everything is going good, because that's not the truth when it comes to your process. That's not the truth when it comes to your journey. And in this journey, you're going to have hurt, you're going to have setbacks, you have things of that nature. So you can't look up to these people, these false prophets, to save you and live vicariously through them. Because all it does is create a herd mentality, a mob mentality, which is rampant on the internet. You know what I mean? Comfort don't come from greatness. You know what I'm saying? No, greatness don't come from comfort zones. I'm sorry. Greatness don't come from comfort zones. You feel me? So with that being said, this is another Darius the Great deep dive. Holla at your boy. Follow me on Instagram at Darius the Great. That's DVRIUSTHGRAT on Instagram. Also on Facebook, Q Darius. And then follow the link on YouTube. I'm going to put the link on this video and subscribe to it, man. Peace and blessings to y'all, and let's keep building and growing. Thank you.